Here's one thing we're all familiar with in Asia, especially as the summer comes along, fans. But the fans that I saw at the MWC don't look anything like a fan I've seen before. I just had to ask Frore Systems, how exactly is what they're developing a fan, and just how does it work? I'm here with Seishu from Frore, how do you pronounce it?
Frore Systems.
Frore Systems. We rely on fans for everything in electronics and in our daily lives. You have kind of a new way to think about fans. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Sure. We are Frore Systems. We are a Silicon Valley startup. We have produced the world's first solid-state active cooling chip. This completely replaces fans in all manner of devices. You know, fans are a 100-year-old technology, and the fact that it's still the only way you can actually remove heat in these ultra-sophisticated computing devices is something that we shouldn't have to live with. So we decided to do something about it. So we've created a chip that removes heat.
And so when you say a chip, you're using the same technologies that you use to fabricate processors to create this kind of...
We're using the same technology, but this is not a processor. You know, this cools the processor.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is with generative AI, computing devices are being asked to do more and more. So now everything is getting smarter and requires even greater computation. And when it requires more computation, it also produces more heat.
Yeah.
And it's come to a point where fans are just not going to cut it. Because fans are voluminous, you know, they're bulky, they're noisy. And also when you have a fan, you have to give up on certain things like dustproofness and also waterproofness, which are attributes that you want to have in a mobile device. So we've created this solid-state active cooling chip that allows you to be able to very efficiently remove heat, replaces a fan, and is silent and can operate in a dustproof and waterproof enclosure. When you have a waterproof and dustproof device, you have very tiny vents, and even those vents have to be covered with membranes that don't allow dust to go in. So when you do that, a fan is not powerful enough to be able to suck air in. But our chip actually produces what is called enough static pressure. That's the equivalent of this type of fan.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So in a small form factor, we're able to produce enough suction force that even inside a highly compact, waterproof, dustproof device, we can circulate air, removing heat. So this is a complete breakthrough, and it's being embraced by any number of different types of compute platform manufacturers to create a new category of products that are going to have much higher performance.
So you're mostly focused on compute, on like cooling processors or cooling desktop or laptop systems?
Laptops, smartphones, notebooks, mini PCs, tablets, SSD accessories, 5G hotspots.
So just in theory, for example, let's say for a smartphone, the reason that we don't have fans on smartphones is that, first of all, it takes up a lot of battery. So that's the main reason. But also, if you add a fan, you have to make sure that it's waterproof. So this kind of system would be able to address that concern.
That's correct. You can't have a fan in a smartphone because it's too bulky. Fans are too bulky. And also, they're very noisy. And nobody wants to have a smartphone that makes noise or becomes thicker and thicker just to add active cooling solution to it. So in this show, we actually launched the IP68 compliant version of AirJet Mini. This is our product.
Okay.
So we have we call it the AirJet Mini Sport. So we are launching it at the MWC Shanghai. We have demos here showing you that this actually operates after dunking in 1.5 meters of water to prove that it's IP68 compliant.
What's the application for this?
Well, applications are going to evolve. Right now, it works very well in compact devices that are consumer friendly, right? Particularly mobile devices. But we have the ability to continue to improve the performance of these chips. Because they are using semiconductor manufacturing techniques, we follow what we call Frore's law, which means that every generation of this chip is going to get twice the performance of the previous generation. So as these chips get more and more powerful, you will see that it is being used in any number of new industries, including enterprise.
Is that what you've seen in your development so far? As you get better and better, it's doubled with every process?
That is our vision and our ambition.
Okay.
So you have to watch this space
Yeah.
to see how we are going to generate new technology and new innovation to continue to improve the performance of this chip on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, because as you said, like fans are quite an old technology. We've refined it quite a bit. Like we know how to make a fan, we know the limits of it, and through AI we can like model optimal performance. But through since this is not fully optimized, we don't quite understand the whole depth of how far we can go. We can go like to incredible places.
Oh, absolutely. I think sky's the limit. This is just the beginning.
Okay.
And you will see this emerge in products of all sorts over time. The two applications are smartphones, which are already IP68.
Yeah.
So adding AirJet Mini Sport to a smartphone can improve the performance of the smartphone up to 80% without changing the form factor or giving up on IP68 compliance. Another application that we're seeing a lot of interest is action cameras. Action cameras are super compact, and you want them to work, when you're skiing, when you're scuba diving, when you're snorkeling, when you're surfing, and so it has to be very rugged.
Or if you're like in the bright sun
Correct.
at 35 degrees temperature.
That's correct.
That's when you need cooling.
Absolutely.
That's really interesting.
And right now, because they're very compact, they're passively cool. But what's happening in action cameras, much like in smartphones, is AI is bringing more and more computing to these devices to the point where you can no longer remove all the heat that they're generating within the small form factor. So you have to add active cooling. And AirJet Mini Sport is a perfect answer to that problem.
Is there anything else you'd like to close off on?
We are actually looking at this form factor as the one that is getting the most amount of traction, because smaller the better.
Right.
Because these devices are extremely compact, and the amount of space they have in them for being able to integrate an active cooling solution is very limited. So we are finding that the AirJet Mini form factor, this size, is like perfect. Of course, there are applications like Pro tablets and notebooks where they use multiple of these chips. One is not enough.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been really